Everybody, welcome to the AI Agent Challenge. My name is Dylan. I help entrepreneurs win the game of business by upgrading their systems with AI agents and automated workflows. Today, what we're going to be doing is helping you market without the effort of marketing. We're going to help you create an AI agent podcaster, and with a few clicks of a button, with any news source, with any feeds online, it will take that, write that into a script, turn that into a voice clone, and then post that for you online as your very own podcast. So if that sounds interesting, let's get into it, shall we? So to understand the way this works, I'm going to show you the flow of this agent podcaster here. What we're going to be doing here is in scenario one, we're going to be grabbing the news feeds online. And with a click of a button, I'll show you how to do that. Then we're going to use AI, OpenAI to be exact, to write the script. And we're going to take that script and we're going to upload it to a folder. In the other scenario, we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a voice clone out of the script that was written. Could be your voice if you have it set up, or it can just be a generic voice clone. Then we use the podcast title and description. We use AI to make that, write that for you, and then we upload that whole thing as an entire podcast. So this is what we're going to be doing today, and we're going to walk through each of these steps and start pretty much from scratch. So by the end of this, you'll have this all completed. And by the way, if you enjoy AI agents, AI for marketing, automations, this is what I cover in the channel. So feel free to give me a subscribe. There should be a button somewhere. Just click that so that you never miss out on this awesome AI agent news. So jumping into this, we're going to be going into our make.com system. We have inside of here, this is a folder for the 30-day AI agent challenge. And this is where I recommend, if you haven't heard of make.com, I've got a whole bunch of videos on it. If you just scroll back to the beginning of this, you can go through and learn how to get up and running and building some of these automated workflows for AI agents. But whenever we get started in make.com, we want to have a folder to keep things organized. And we're going to click create scenario inside the 30-day AI agent folder. So this opens up inside of here. And we're going to call this Day 22 news feed to AI script upload folder. There we go. Click save. So we've gotten that. And where we're going to get our news source from is a service called Feedly. What it does is it aggregates all of the different news sources online and brings it to you into one feed. So it makes it really easy for you to kind of skim through it and see what you like. Also, it makes it great for us because we can plug in and make and do amazing things with it. So I think it might be maybe a couple of bucks, maybe $10 a month, if that, or something like that, to sign up for like the pro services. I bought I think the year package a long time ago. I can't remember what it was, but this is me logging into it. And what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to do two things. One, we're going to create a board and we're going to call this AI marketing news, just like that. Click create. So now we've got a board, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to create a feed here. And the feed is what do we want to look at every day? What's the feed of information? So if we say marketing AI news, click save, we can start to populate this news. And whatever we find to be interesting from the news feed, we're going to want to save it over to our board, which is down here. So if I go track topics, you can select any type of topic you're looking for, like competitors you're searching, sustainability, market insights, regulations, all that fun stuff. So if I type in marketing AI, and you can see there's a recommendation. It says you can get more results by searching for advertising industry and AI to get more information. We're going to skip that. And we can see we already have a big old feed of different news coming inside of here that we can take a look at. So if there's something that we liked, for example, automation future of marketing, AI and the reins, if we want to add this to our marketing AI board, we hit the star and we can go down to marketing AI news and hit save. And now we've added that to the board. So if we go over here to marketing AI, we want to save this, stay on the page. So we want to save this feed. Now we can add to the additional feeds if we wanted to add in more information, find more content, or do more things. There's a bunch of things that we can do, but let's save the feed right now so we have that. And we can save this to the feed that we have here called Marketing AI News. I'm going to call this AI Marketing Feed. Save feed. Great. So we've got that inside of here. And if we pop over to this marketing AI feed, we can see that we already got one of these articles that came in. And if you clicked on it, it opens up. It's got some more information. We can visit the website. But there that is for us. If we want to add another one to it, we could click on this again, go inside of here, open it up, scroll down to Apple Meets, the major AI announcements. Okay, so let's just say that looks interesting. We can add that to our board, hit save. Great. So now we've got both of those items inside of the board here. So now that we have that, we're going to go over to make.com and we're going to type in Feedly, click on Feedly, and we're going to look at this one, this instant acid, which shows us that anytime we're going to be looking for a new article on the board to pop up. And we're going to log in here by clicking add. I'm going to call this one AI Marketing News. And I already have my connection, and we're going to pick what board do we want. So I'm going to click the AI Marketing News board that we selected, save, click OK, and we'll click OK again. So there we go. So now if we hit run on this, we can watch for any new articles on the board. So if I go inside of here, and let's go back to the marketing feed, and let's just scroll down to anyone that we see, startup opportunities, say we like this one, we click this one to add it to the board, we go over here, you can see that we've already pulled in the article along with all of the information. So now we're going to get this feed up, over, and across. So now that we know that's working, we will click save, and we're going to open up ChatGPT. Double click to open it up, type in OpenAI, go here, and we're going to click the create a completion. I'm going to select this API key, and we're going to go down to model. We'll pick the 4.0 system. And now we can add in a system prompt right inside of here. So I'll go down here, add system. And I'm just going to paste in this that you don't hear me typing the whole time. You can see what it is. It says, you are to write a script from the article posted. It should be a monologue in news style format in third person, talking about the story from a journalistic perspective. It should be only 3 sentences maximum, short and to the point. Don't include any websites in the script. Do not introduce any have introductions or outros. No notes in the brackets and or any directions. Only the script, right? So now we're telling the system prompt that you are only going to be looking at this article coming in, and we just want you to write the script, nothing else. And so now as a user, we want to feed in the article and the title. So we're going to go over here, and since we've ran this, we can see that we've got the feed coming in, and we want the article title. And we want to go down and we want to have the article content, but no HTML. So there's article content, no HTML. Great. So now we're bringing in the title of what it is and the content without any of the HTML language. Max tokens, we can give it, I don't know, like 500. Should be plenty. And then we're going to click OK. Save it one more time. Just like that. So now this should run whenever we have anything getting into the board. So we're going to hit run like this to test this out. We're going to move over to this Feedly. I'm going to close this one out so you can see that it's there. And let's just say we want to add another one to the board here. So let's just pick how AI is revolutionizing digital marketing. Sounds great. AI marketing news. We click that. We go over here. It's ran. And we can see the report. Oh, that is so fast. That 4.0 is fast. AI is revolutionizing digital marketing strategies by providing advanced tools for analyzing and personalization content. Very true. The technology enables marketers to enhance campaigns efficiency and improve customer engagement. As a result, business experiences increase return on investment. Totally. One of the number ones that I've seen with working with a lot of these different companies is that they do not understand the depth of personalization that you can do while using these agents to be able to get data and information on your customer and then personalize it to feel like it's personal. And it is a very powerful tool if you know how to use it. So great. We got that going. That set up. We're now having that work. And next step of the do is we're going to put this into a file and a folder right now for us. And so we're going to do that by opening up Google Drive and log in here to the AI Agent Challenge. We're going to go to a new folder. I'm creating a folder in here and call it Day 22 AI Agent Podcaster. Click Create. I'll put that inside of here. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to want to create another folder. We'll call this AI Agent New Marketing news podcaster. I'm going to open that up, and we're going to make one last folder just so I can put it in nice organizations. We're going to call this scripts. This is where the scripts are going to live. All right. So now that we've got a place for that to live. Let's go ahead and open up Google Drive. Type in Google Drive, just like that. And we're going to look for files and folders. That's what we're going to be really looking for right now. The reason being is that every day we're going to look for these new article boards to come through. And as they come through, what we're going to be doing is we're going to see, okay, is there any information? Do we have a new daily script out there? If so, great. We can add to that script. We can make a new document and we can add to that script. If one doesn't exist, we need to make a Google document, a Word document, and create that along with the script. So that's really the game plan, and that's why we're going to be searching for it right now. So we're going to search for files and folders. Log in. Click here. Type in AI Agent Challenge. Day 22. AI Agent Podcaster. And we're going to go to the last one, which is scripts. Good. Now what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be searching right here. And inside the searching for files and folders, we're only looking for a limit of 1, just like that. We're going to click Files, just like that. Search here. And we're going to click Custom Search Query. And this is where we're going to want to format it a bit. And so we're going to be using some of these functions inside of here because we're going to want to add the date. Like, what is the date of this? What does this look like? So we have this format date function here that will allow us to add in a date. And we can put inside of here and say now. And this is another variable. What this does is whatever the time is right now, it will populate the time. And all we're saying with this function here is we want to know what is the year, right? What does that look like? And then we're going to have the year, so like 2024. We can do that exact same function again, but we don't want that. We're just going to want to have the month like that. We'll just do it one more time like this for the date. Now again, we could do this another way where we just populate it in across just like this, month, month, year, year, day, date, or year, year, month, month, day, date. So now that we have this, we've got the search term like that. That looks good. All that looks solid. Oh, search for files and folders. Perfect. No, we're going to want to search for files. And we're going to search for folders and names. There we go. We click OK. And now the next step of it is we're going to create a router. This is going to separate the two things out, which is whether or not this document exists or not. Because we're going to be writing to the script, and it could be multiple times a day that we end up writing to the script. And so one we're going to do is we want to create Google Doc, create a document, just like that, log in. And what we're going to want to do is pass over the same variable that we have across here. So I'm just going to put in some blank information right now as just a placeholder, and then we're going to come back to that. So if I go down to AI Agent Challenge, 22, Podcaster, Scripts, that's great. That's where it's going to live. And we're going to be searching for this exact search term right here. So we're going to highlight this and copy this. Click OK. Go into create a document. And we're looking for the name. And the name, we're going to call it the exact same thing we just had over there. So we're looking for this name, which is just the date of what we have going on. And the content inside of here is we can say this. This is the AI marketing news for today, just like that. And we can populate and do this exact same thing. Boop. Just like that. And we can do ... And we can now populate it with the ChatGPT output that we had over here that summarized the news article. So if we go over here, we can see the completion. This is the module. You can see it's pulsating on the left-hand side there. That means that that's the one that's selected. We go down to choices, messages, content. Great. So now we have the content right there. So now AI is going to summarize it. We're going to look to see if this exists. We're going to search for files and folders. Hit save here. And then we're going to say if this doesn't exist, then we're going to want to upload it to the top. We want to create it. And the way that we're going to create a filter for this one, right here, set up a filter. We're going to label this if the doc title exists. Go over here. And we're going to look for the total bundles is equal to 0. Or actually doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Just like that. So if it doesn't exist, and we can tell that the condition is this, there's no bundles, that the search came up with 0, so there was no dates, which means that the document that we got created doesn't exist. We'll hit save. And then we're going to create another thing, which is we're not going to actually create a document. We now want to update this document. So we're in Google Docs, and we're going to look for insert a paragraph into the document. This is known as appending. So you append or add information into it. So we want to add to it. Log in, do by mapping, and we're going to map this file ID right here, which is this document right here. So we're searching for today's date. Does today's date as a file ID exist? And we want to append to it. And the way that we do that is we can do a little dash here, enter, and then we're going to add to the bottom with the summarizer. So if this is searching multiple times a day for news and scraping the internet for news feeds, if it finds a second one or a third one, it will summarize it and then it will append it to here, which is ultimately the Word document that we have created over here. So route 1 goes here, makes the Word document. Route 2 appends and adds to the script. So this is, if we were to kind of rename these for clarity, we can call this news script writer. Search for daily script file. Create daily script file. Over here is right click this, add content to daily file, script file. Script file. Just like that. So now that we have this, we can give this a run and we can see how this goes. So we'll have this thing on right now. It's running. We're going to go into our marketing feed over here, our AI marketing feed, and let's just say tech industry, 8 relevant applications. That looks good. We're going to add this to our marketing news just like that. We go over here. We can see that it got created. It didn't exist, and so it created the daily script for us right here. We've got an error over here, but parameters in the document, we'll take that in a second. But let's make sure this got created. We go inside of scripts. We go inside of here. Here's the year, month, date. Open this up. AI marketing news for the day. All right, there we go. We've got that in. We can take a look at this error. Missing parameters of document required. What are we missing here? Oh, I get it. I didn't set up the filter for it. So that's the problem. Because I didn't set up the filter for it, it tried to run it at the same time, but there wasn't anything that existed. So I didn't put a filter in place. All right. So we're going to open this up, set up a filter, just like that. Let's say if script file exists, and then we're going to add this in here. We're going to look for the total number of bundles, which means when the Google Drive searched, for that title, which was the date, year, month, day, 2024, January or June 22nd, 12th. Don't even my days. If it finds it, right, and we're going to put this in and we're going to have 1. So we're going to say, hey, this bundle, we found one through this thing, and now we're looking in here, and so it will then come this way. But what happened is it tried to go this way, and this document didn't exist, so it errored out, and that's what happened. Great. So now that this does exist, we'll just do one more. We'll run this again, and this should go to the bottom and append to it and add to this section right here. And we'll know that's going to work by going here, clicking run, go into the marketing feed. Let's pick AI best practices and strategies. Sure. We're going to add that to our marketing news just like that. Open this back up, and then it went to the bottom. There we go. So now we had this appended or added to it, and if we go inside of here, we can see that there is these. All right, tech news, revolutionizing cybersecurity, marketing insights by revolution, data-driven application. Okay, so they are different, just kind of opens up the same way. Now we could use ChatGPT to rewrite that, give some little bit different prompt examples, but you kind of get the gist. The way I would fix that is I'd go inside of ChatGPT over here, and I'd give it a bit more training and content of how to respond to things. Maybe your writing style or communication style or whatever, but this is now up and done. So we're going to call this 22A, hit save, and now we're going to want to create another make module that will then do the cloning and all of that good stuff. And so I'm going to show you the way that works right now. We're going to get into it. Open up make. Log in, scenarios. 30-day challenge. Create scenario. Day 22B. And we'll call this script to voice clone post podcast. All right. We'll hit save right here. And we're going to log in like the same way that we were watching this Feedly over here. We're watching for any boards to be changed. That's why there's a little lightning bolt right here. We're looking for anything instant. So as soon as that happens, it watches it gets triggered. We're going to be doing the same thing, but we're going to be watching a Word document. So we're going to go Google, Google Docs, watch document, log in, choose the folder, agent challenge, go across into here, day 22, podcaster, and scripts. Great. And we're only going to want one. We just want that day. We want that one document that's going to come across here. Click OK. So what we can do here is, this normally is going to be from now on. We're just looking for anything new. But if we want, we can choose manually, and we can look for something that's coming through here, which is what we currently have. So just for testing purposes, I can have this on right now. So if I hit run, we can see that it did find that document. And if we scroll down here, we can see all of the information coming through that we want. We could click the web view link just like that, open that up, hit paste. And then this is the web view link of that document. So we know that does work. We are grabbing that information, which is great. I'm going to hit save. Now the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to append to this again. So once this grabs all of the news, we're going to want to bookend it. We have the opening of like, hey, welcome to the AI marketing news. We at the very end of a podcast, you usually have a sign off. So what this is basically the sign off. And we're going to do that by doing the similar module as before. And we are going to append to that document or insert a paragraph into that document. Log in. We're going to click mapping because we're just going to map the path over the document ID. As you can see, this thing pulsating. So this is going to be watching for that document. And this document ID is going to show us which document we're going to be grabbing. So we're going to grab the document that triggers it. What's going on? And what we're going to add in is we want to add a little sign off. So we can add a little sign off, say, that's all the AI marketing news for the day. Connect with us on YouTube at Dylanjwatkins channel for more AI agent and automated workflow tutorials. All right, Great. Fantastic. We got that in there. So that's a little sign off. So at the end of all of these, we're going to be constantly adding this document. I'm going to show you what that looks like right now if we were to run it. So we have this as is. If I was to go run this, and we'll just go ahead and click run once. Oh, did that not grab it? Oh, is it? I did not pick a place to start from. So we'll go here, choose where to start from, choose manually because it was going to watch anything happening from now. We're going to select this document, go here, click run. We do that, and we can see that this now has appended and added into here. We can see that by zooming in. That is all the AI marketing news for the day. Connect with us on YouTube at Dylanjwatkins for so forth and so on. Great, so that did work, and that was appended. We're going to go ahead and delete that because that is no longer needed. And when we run the scenario again, if it keeps running, it'll just keep adding that to it. But now we have that being appended. Now we're going to want to be able to get the contents inside of here. We want to be actually be able to pull out the data that is inside of here so that we can feed it into our voice cloning system over at 11 Labs. The way that we're going to be doing that is we're going to be using a thing called get content of a document. This is going to get all the words that are written down inside of here. Currently, I need to update my permissions. So I'm going to log in here real fast. Continue, allow. Great, we are connected. Now we're going to be grabbing the document ID, the one that we're just passing that document along, and now we can grab all of the words that are inside of that document. We've been writing to it. This kind of allows us to read to it. Now the next step here is we're going to go to 11 Labs and log in. If you don't know what 11 Labs is, it's pretty incredible. 11 Labs, I think they are now part of the Disney Accelerator because they're just crushing the game. 11 Labs here is speech synthesis. You can actually do sound effects. You can do different voices inside of here. And there's all these different types of voices that we can use. I've cloned my voice inside of here. You do that by recording some of your voices and uploading to the system. But you can also grab your API key, which is down here where it says profile and API key. You just go there, grab that API key, and you're going to use that API key from 11 Labs inside this module right here for 11 Labs. So this is 11 Labs, and we can say create a speech synthesis, which is going to be cloning of my voice. I've already logged in, but the way you would log in, you could sign in and usually put in your API key right there. The voice clone I'm going to be using is my own clone voice right here. And this gives you a bunch of different options on things that you can do. So there's older ones and newer ones and turbo versions and a lot of different ones we can use. But let's just, I don't know, let's pick this V1 original old school. But there's different versions. The twos and all these ones sound better, but they're usually the more recent, the less context it gives us to write from. So we don't have as much length of the conversation that we can use. So I'm just going to pick the earliest one just so that we have some wiggle room. And we're going to feed in, right here, is the content from this document where it says get content from document. Okay, so then we're going to get the text content just like that. In terms of stability and similar boosts, these are just in terms of like how much wiggle room. Like, do you want it to be a wacky voice or do you want it to be very monotone? What does that sound like? And so for me, what I've noticed works really well is the 0.4 and similarity of 0.75. 0.75, just like that. And then do we want to optimize for streaming latency? We don't need to put anything in there. That looks good. We'll click OK just like that. And now we have this set up. So now this news is going to come across and it should be able to be read by this AI 11 Labs voice clone. We're going to hit save here. And we'll go ahead and pick a place to run this from. Choose where to start. Choose manually. We're just going to pick this date here. Going to run this. And we're going to click run. We can see it's in the context. It's now hitting 11 Labs. Turning that into a voice clone. Now that's done, we'll open this up. And we can see that we have this output bundle here, 11 Labs MP3. And this is the binary data. So if we wanted to listen to this to see if it worked, we need to be able to download this data. There's a couple different ways you could do that. I'm not going to do it this way right now because we're going to just go through and we're going to post it. We'll be able to listen to it on post. But I would use something like Cloud Convert. So Cloud Convert here allows you to be able to capture a file and then be able to then download that file. So we would actually run this through and we'd be able to download that file if we wanted to like upload it to Google Drive or do whatever else we want to, because right now this is currently not downloadable. We need to be able to download it. So, but we're not going to do that. We're going to upload it to SoundCloud instead and we can listen to it over there. But before we do that, what we're going to do is we're going to create a podcast title based on the actual script that was written. And so our whole goal here is we'll go inside here and we're going to open this up, type in OpenAI, just like that, create a completion, log into the model, 4.0 system. We can add a system message just like this. And we're going to type in, create a short podcast title based on the news stories in this content. Include company names where possible. Don't surround the titles with quotes because that might break the system. This must contain only lowercase letters and numbers. Type minus or underscore. I'll explain why in a moment. To separate words. Do not include any. This is really important as well. So what's going to do is we're going to send it over to SoundCloud. And if there's any spaces in the title or specifically the podcast link, the URL that we're going to be using as the name, it's going to break and it won't be able to upload to SoundCloud. So we want to make sure that there's nothing else besides besides lowercase, and then there's dashes, the minus signs, or the underscoring. And also, we want to make sure there's no symbols like apostrophes. So no symbols like this. We'll put the apostrophe right there and say if there is something like the word OpenAI's, I'm just giving an example, change it to OpenAIS. Remove all symbols that are not lowercase letters and numbers. I'm just going to reinforce it in here. Type this for minus, or we can do underscore to separate the words. Great. And so I'm going to do that just like that. Add the message, user roles, user. And we don't really need to do this, but I'm going to just copy and paste this in again just as a reinforcement. Oh gosh, this must contain only. Let's put a little space right there. Here is the content. And then we're going to feed it the content right here. And we can grab that by grabbing the text content just like that. All right. So now we have that token count. We'll throw in 500. Should be good. Hit OK. Open this up. Hit OK again. Now we've gotten that. We're going to call this podcast title. Hit save. There we go. And the next one we're going to have is we're going to want to have the podcast description. And this is going to be pretty straightforward. Open this up. Create a completion. Select the model. Add the system prompt. And the system prompt just kind of tells it, what am I doing here? We're just going to be keeping it pretty straightforward with this. Is create a short podcast description based on the content. Don't surround it with quotes. Oh, I got that. Great. Go here. I'm going to add a message from the user, just like that. Text content. I'm going to go down to text content. There we go now. And we're going to go to max tokens, say 500. Okay. Great. Hit OK. All of that looks good. Hit save. And then the next phase of this, what we're going to do here is we could test it, but we know the 11 Labs works. We know these things are going to work. All this data is going into here. We're going to call this podcast description. The last module that we're going to use is SoundCloud. The way that works is we can go inside of here, and I'm just going to show you what this looks like if we started from scratch. So we go into sign in, go to login, and I'm just going to create an empty SoundCloud just from blank. Right here, I'll enter my age. Oh gosh. Verifying identity. And this is logging in right inside of here. So now we have this SoundCloud library, and we can go inside of here, see profile, and this is just my profile. There's nothing inside of here. There's no images. There's nothing inside of here. And we're going to want to upload to here. And the way that we're going to be doing that is we're going to go over to the scenario, open up the SoundCloud model, and what we're going to be doing here is we want to upload a track. Let's just type in upload. Upload a new track. I'm going to log in. We're going to call this one DJW. Hit save. And now we're just going to be logging in. All right. Just logged in right now on this new account. And we're going to go inside of here, and we're going to have this get mapped over. So we're going to be grabbing the map of this. And the file title is not going to come from 11 Labs. The file title is actually going to be what we want as the podcast title. So the podcast title is what we're going to be using here. I'm going to click here. We're going to look for podcast title, choices, messages, content, just like that. This data will be coming from 11 Labs because that is going to be the podcast we're going to be using. And the permanent link here is also going to be the podcast title. And that's the reason why we wanted to make sure, I'm going to go inside the messages, content, just like that. Because when this comes across, we want to make sure that there's no apostrophes, spaces, or anything else, because that's going to break the link. Now, we could have made a second one where one's a podcast title and we're separating that from the podcast URL permanent link here, but just for the purposes of this, I want to kind of keep it as short as possible. This is the data. As you can see, this is the little binary data coming through and it's populating. So this is how we're going to be uploading the data to the podcast site known as SoundCloud. And then finally, the last thing we're going to put inside of here is the description, which is we have the podcast description right here, messages, content, just like that. We're going to click OK. One more time, confirm that. And that is the flow. So what we can do here is we can give this a save and a test run, choosing where to start. Choose manually. Grab the one for the day. Click OK. Hit run. It's now adding the sign off to it. Might have two sign offs. No, I think I deleted that sign off. Let's see. Oh no, I had that second sign off. It appended it twice, so we're gonna hear that twice because I had that from before. So I ran this twice, and so it's gonna say it twice. 11 Labs did it, cloned it. It's now hitting SoundCloud right now, and it's currently being uploaded to SoundCloud. And we can take a look at this. All right, welcome to AI Marketing News for today. There is the description coming in, and we can see the output. Yep, it went up. AI Marketing News with Dylanjwatkins. We have the description right here and all of the information. So if we go over to SoundCloud right now and we go to sign in, signing in. We'll go to the profile right here, profile, and there it is. So let's hit play.
This is the AI marketing news for today, 202-40612. Artificial intelligence is revolutionizing the tech industry with applications in automation, predictive analytics, and
if we go to the end here,
natural language processing. Additionally, AI-driven connect with us on YouTube at Dylanjwatkins channel for more AI agent and automated workflow tutorials.
Great. There we go. So we've gotten that in there. We know that that works and that does function. And so what we want to do here now is this does function as is. And so that's great. We're now not going to pick here. We're going to change this to kind of get the whole flow set up right now. We can get this whole thing running. We can now say choose where to start. And what we're going to do is we're going to switch that out from, we can say from now on, click OK. What we're going to do is we're going to go over from the very beginning and we're going to try this whole thing out. I'm going to go here. We're going to delete this. We're going to move that into the trash. And we are going to go over to this scenario here on this side. Now we've gotten that going. We can hit run over here. And on this scenario, we'll click here, choose where to start from now on. And what we're going to do here, I'm going to hit save, is we're going to go ahead, and I could turn this on so where this would just automatically run, but I'm just going to wait for this to come through. And once it populates on the front side, I'm going to hit run once. And then once we know this works, we just need to switch this thing on so that's going to be detected. We're going to go over to the first one. We know that's running right now. We're going to go into this marketing feed, and we are going to look for something new coming through. AI for marketing. Know everything about it. Sounds fantastic. So we're going to click this and add this to our board. We're going to see that got populated. It just added it to the new daily script, which is great. If we wanted to add a second piece of information, all we need to do is go back into Feedly here. We'll pick another one. Just pick this best AI marketing tools. That sounds good. Click on that. We can see that that ran and now appended and added it to the document. We can look and see that, in fact, this document was created. Talks about Netflix and the marketing forefront of the technology. We can go into the second module here, hit run, just like this. And we can see it running all the way across, hitting 11 labs, voice cloning that out, giving a podcast title will be next. And by the way, if you enjoy this, feel free to like and hit the subscribe button for many more of these amazing tutorials. Back onto the show at hand, shall we? So podcast title, description, and now this is going to kick it out to SoundCloud again. And once this is uploaded to SoundCloud, just like that, we can go inside of here. We will hit refresh. And you can see that we have the second one in here right now.
This is the AI marketing news for today, 202-40612. Netflix leverages AI for personalized content suggestions, promotional campaign.
All right, there we go. So in order to have these things running every single day, all we need to do is really just turn that guy on from the second one, hit save, go back over to the first one just like this, hit save, and then turn this on. And now what we can do is we can set this up to run. Instead of immediately as data arrives, we can have this running, say, every day at 6 a.m. We can have this run. And what will happen is throughout the day, we can go inside of here, mark the things we like, just like this, and anything else that we find to be interesting and or exciting. And what happens from there is at 6 a.m. every day, this will run. It will write the script. It will then take that script, use 11 labs to voice clone it, give it a podcast title, description, and then kick that up to SoundCloud. That's it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, feel free to give it a like, a thumbs up, and maybe even a subscribe. If you like AI automation, AI marketing, AI automated workflows, that is all I cover in this channel. So if you do, feel free to come with me on this wonderful, wild world of post-AI era. Thank you so much. My name is Dylan. Much love, everybody. Peace, and I'll see you on the other side. Take care now. Bye.